Hey, it's Feedback Friday again, and that means you're going to have to put up with a few of my thoughts. But to make up for it, we'll be taking a look at some cool pictures from your projects as well. Coming up. My rusty old 37 Chevy has been standing here in the dusty gloom for many years. So to make the old girl feel better, I thought we'd give it a little bit of limelight today. But she's safe here and she's not going anywhere. One day, my girl, one day. Just have patience. If I live long enough. Don't tell her. So following my recent video about our car show fun, the whole hot rod versus rat rod debate came up a little bit again. Well, but we need both, man. I mean, it's like yin and yang, you know. If it's not cold, you can't appreciate the hot, and vice versa. So we need the shine to offset the rust. We need the rust to offset the shine. And variety is the spice of life. Well, you guys, of course, know in which camp I am. And I would like to actually share a couple of comments from, shall we say, ducks that swim in the same dam as me. Let me see now. The first guy that wrote something that I would like to read is old Boat. And he wrote, "The shiny ones only drive on and off a trailer, and the rat rods drive everywhere." It's true though, eh? Robert Williams wrote, "Trailer queens go back to their environmentally controlled garages, while rat rods are being driven without fear of scratching a $10,000 paint job." Yep, indeed. Shiny paint just causes stress. You know, look, I've been there. I've built some shiny cars. Let me share a picture quickly of something I built many years ago, just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. But now that I'm older, I prefer to just drive the hell out of them and don't waste my time anymore shining and polishing and cleaning and stressing. Here's another comment I'd like to share with you guys from Stashwax Roller. He wrote, "Now who has the most fun? The dude with the trailer queen behind a barrier and a huge sign that says 'Do not touch'? Or the rig with the machine gun and the push button that the kids can play on?" Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know if you saw the video, but we had kids from 6 years to 72 years getting up there in a gunner seat, imagining themselves mowing down their imaginary enemy. And yeah, people from all walks of life playing with my little push button that squirted water. So I definitely created some awesome memories, and everybody had a great laugh. I mean, that's what it's all about, man. In the Reno Bug videos, I often refer to the little yellow car as the naughty car, and Johnny Mac wrote in to say that a lot of people will not know what a naughty car is. I guess you're right, my brother. So for those who don't know, I'm going to share a little picture. Noddy is a storybook character that drives a tiny little yellow car, which just reminds me of the Reno Bug. Yeah, the older generation will remember him well. Remember that song? "I'm a little naughty man, I always nod my head, except of course when I'm asleep and cuddle up in bed." And then someone commented to say that the Noddy books got banned. Really? I never knew that. Yes, apparently Noddy was a racist and xenophobic. I can just shake my head. I mean, does these hypocritical woke left Karens and Kevins or whatever have nothing better to do in their lives? It's ridiculous. A cartoon character, an imaginary tale that appealed to countless of children over the years, and certainly installed a sense of reading in them. I mean, just look how damaged I am. You know, I don't know. Trying to read themes like racism and xenophobia in imaginary tales just point back to the inherent traits of specific human beings, if you ask me. Meow. That's the sound of my jaw dropping on the ground. Hey, it's okay if the kids play video or computer games full of death and destruction. It's okay if the kids watch movies full of violence and greed and extortion and all kinds of immoral acts. But ban the little naughty man. Anyway, enough of the ramblings and opinions of a grey old man living in a forest. Let's instead have a look at your projects. So who can guess what this is? It's actually the cab from a Rio, and that's what Baba in Minnesota started with to build this. Awesome picture of an awesome old school style hot rod. It's got a Chevy 292 straight 6 engine, an underslung suspension in the rear. You have a soft spot for these traditional classic hot rods. They just prove that you don't need lots of expensive shiny aftermarket parts to build something really cool. Baba is already 82 years old and has been building hot rods since age 15. Good innings, my brother, and great build. Yeah, I wish I could spend some time with some of you old school guys to pick up some of those skills that are being lost and forgotten. Peter Robbins from the South Coast in Western Australia is busy with a 1957 Chevy 4-door wagon that he is turning into a sedan delivery. Homemade dash and converted to right-hand drive because the Aussies also drive on the left-hand side like us here in South Africa. Peter says the 3 horses bar and grill is a wordplay joke with his wife, and that 3 horses actually means nag, nag, nag. Safer if I say nothing. Peter is also working on this 48 Chevy that has already been chopped and channeled on a custom chassis. Eric Knight, aka Sawbones, has always wanted a flat-8 Ford V8 engine in his life. He eventually found up and bought 2 and got 1 running engine together. Then he assembled this monster with pieces that he found and junk laying around. Built by himself, the wife, the son and the daughter, Eric says they have lots of fun driving their creation on the dirt roads of the mountain where he lives. It's like Eric says, you don't have to be rich to have fun. Curtis, aka Dub 6 from the Lazy Z Ranch in Idaho, once asked his youngest daughter what her favorite car is, and the answer, a 66 GTO. Curtis said to her he wasn't sure that he could afford one, but maybe he could make one. So he started with this 1966 Le Mans and converted everything over to GTO parts. And this is what the lucky daughter got. A 455 CI engine from a 1970 GTO and turbo 400 tranny with a few modern resto mods like disc brakes, but mostly just as it would have been back in the day. Awesome ride indeed. Diane Kinnery in Illinois sent in some pics of hubby's Ray's 39 Plymouth Coupe that he built himself many years ago. He bought it in a junkyard in Nebraska in 1974. It has a 383 engine with the driveline from a 69 Roadrunner and was featured in Rodden Customs magazine in 1977. That's quite some time ago. Diane says they still enjoy the car and they do many cruise nights. Nice ride, you guys. Here's something quite different. Also art out of junk, but on a smaller scale. Sean Hubbs built his steampunk rat bobber from a 1914 garden cedar, to which he added a variety of bits and pieces. For instance, the engine block is an alternator from a Honda Accord. The heads come from an air compressor. There are gears from a meat grinder. The gearbox is an electric window actuator, to name a few pieces. Very creative, Sean. I'd be proud to own a piece like this. Larry Johns has had his truck since 1995, and it's also a 1995 model. He did everything himself except a two-tone paint job on the body. He did all the interior, converted the bench into buckets, and even made the console. Larry writes that he's met hundreds of gearheads at car shows over the years, and he's had a lot of fun, and says that the car community is really a special one, with no boundaries. I must agree with you, Larry. That's what we love about it. Otis Deal in Cocoa, Florida sent in a long and interesting email about his puddlebug build. It started out as a 1983 Toyota straight axle pickup that Otis took mudding regularly. Then the frame broke in half and he decided to build a new frame for it. He's still busy with the project, but asked that I convey a very special message to his wife. Ma'am, Otis says he loves you and that he appreciates you putting up with him and his projects. And he also says you are a better mechanic than many knows, and that you are awesome. Otis, send us some pics of the finished build and let us know the name of this wonderful woman. Lucky you. And that's my story for today. I've got more projects to share, but we'll do that in another video. Thank you so much for sending in the pictures. I certainly enjoyed seeing it, and I'm sure you did too. We'll do the same thing again in another Feedback Friday video. If you've got any projects that you'd like to share, please send in your images. I'll put the email address here on the screen, or you can just go look in my About section on the channel. So thanks again. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, have a lucky one, my brothers.
Whatever makes you happy, it just depends.